Okay guys, so I'm going to walk you through starting up the LEC sound booth for praise team practice. The first thing you want to do is you want to come down below the projection computer and you want to make sure that this button is on. You want to make sure that this says, PP6 for the back computer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the main computer. And then we're going to wait for that to boot up. We're going to come over here to the soundboard. We're going to flip keyboard power. Wait for it to turn on. Console will start turning on. And then we're going to come over here to the lighting computer. And we're simply going to turn it down. We're going to turn it on right here. Wait for that to come on. Now we're going to come back to our main computer. You're going to click the middle icon. Oops, sorry, hiccups. Contemporary, put in the password. Hit enter. It's going to start up. We're going to take our mouse and we're going to come over and click Pro Presenter 6. Double click, wait for that to come on. In the meantime, we'll walk back over here to our soundboard. And up here, we're going to select our user, which is admin. We're going to log in. You're going to put in the password, which I'll give you on another time. And then you're going to, let's see if I can get it better. Going to hit the 5th button, scenes. You're going to hit number 10, contemporary, and recall. And then your board layout should look like this. And then from here, you can freehand mix every song, which I know you guys will probably like to do. Otherwise, you'll have to scroll down the scene list. And then I have it categorized by song, but some songs have older settings. So if you recall a song that we did last week, or you know that we've done recently, you can recall those scenes because those will be the most updated. But contemporary is updated. So I would just freehand mix from that, but it's up to you. Alright, so we've got that situated. As the musicians come in, you can unmute them and pull the faders while you mix. Then we're going to come over to our lighting computer. We're going to select, you have to make sure that the bottom of the mouse has an on switch. Make sure that that's on. Come back over here. We're going to select lighting with the crane. Type in the password. Hit enter. That desktop's going to come on. All right. I'll come back to this. Let's go back to the first computer. All right, so we've got Pro Presenter up, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the switcher for the projectors. And then this front remote turns on all 3 front projectors, but we're going to point it at 1, wait for that to come on, walk over to the other side of the booth, point it, turn it on, and come back and get the remote that says back and point that at that projector with the on button. And wait for those to turn on. Right, and while those gear up, we'll come turn on our lights. So the program we're going to be using, show you, is right here, this little 4. Hog 4 PC, double click, wait for it to come up. You want to catch it right away and hit cancel because it'll bring up a setting that's the wrong one, that's an older one. So you want to look at the screen and make sure that this says SCCUMC main. If not, you can click the down arrow and select it from here, but you want SCCUMC main, click it and hit launch existing show. Then we're going to get 2 panels as it gears up. Slowly. There we go. And we're going to take our mouse and come onto the second screen. And right up here, you'll see there's a row of tabs. You want to click Master. This is setting up our master view. And then you can control the lights manually. This box right here is the group directory. So these buttons represent every fixture or group of fixtures that we have. For example, band, sermon lights. Strip are the lights on the bottom, on the back of the stage. And simply put, you select the fixtures that you want to turn on, and then down here in this intensity directory, you choose what amount of light you want them to produce. So if I put the band at 70%, that's 70%. And then to turn them off, of course, it's 0%. And every time you make a change to a fixture, you're going to want to hit a blank square to deselect it so that you don't end up controlling that same fixture. So if I turned on the band at 70, which comes back to 70, but now I need to do the strip lights. If I hit the strip lights right now, I'll be controlling both the strip and the band, but I just want to do the strip. So I'm going to click a blank square, select the strip, turn the strip at 80, and now I have the strip lights on. Off, on. And that's pretty much the concept for running the lights. However, on Sundays, we have Wendell come in and do his awesome programming. So you're going to want to come down here and double click the latest playlist. It will have the date right here. You can read at the top. So you're going to double click it, and it's going to zoom all the way over here to the left screen. And you can see the list of cues that it goes at. So to get the cue list started, you're going to come to the keyboard. You're going to press Go To and 1, which is the first cue, and then hit Enter. And I'm going to show you what happens when I hit Enter. And now our first cue for lights has come up. And right here, you can see that the darkened gray area is showing you the cue that it's on. And then simply for Sundays, you're just going to hit the space bar to run through the playlist. See how the second square has become gray? I just hit the space bar. I'm going to hit the space bar again, and now I'm on the third cue. So it's going to run through the list as we run through the order of worship. And I'll hit the space bar a couple more times to show you that it's running through the list. And then the other thing that you need to know is that if you get on cue, I don't know, let's say 5, and you want to go back to 4, so right now we're at stop all, but for some reason, I don't know, let's say Jeff keeps talking, and we like the wake setting, so we're going to go back to wake. So to go backward, you select the pause button. And I'm going to hit the pause button again just to show you, but the gray square is going to calculate right there, and it's moving you back to the former cue. I'm going to hit the pause button so I can watch, so you can see the stage change. So I hit the pause button, and now I am on cue 3. I hit the space bar, going forward, I'm on cue 4. Hit the pause button, going backwards. Okay? And then finally, the last little bit is if I am on scene 4, and let's say that for some reason we have to pull up a video, and so we want a darken stage. We know that stop all provides a darken stage, so we have to get from 4 to 7. Well, instead of hitting the space bar really quickly, what we can do is, just as we started, to set the playlist, we can go to, enter the cue number that we want, so 7, and then press enter. I'm going to hit enter and show you. And then it goes to Q7. And you can see here that it's darkened all the way to Q7 where it says stop all. And that's how you set up the lights for Sunday. Then we're going to go back to our ProPresenter. I have to do this a little bit differently. Alright guys, I want to give you a view of what the screen looks like in case it's wrong and show you how to fix it. But I also want to give you a view of the screen. So, well, let's just start with the screen. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is to select our proper playlist for Sunday. So this is our playlist and library window. So right here is the extended display for both. There we go. So you click that and you'll actually get 3 windows. The first is your library. Up here you can search for all our songs or titles. This window lists our playlists, which are basically a group that holds all the slides for whichever service. They're by date or event, so we're going to be going to January 21st. These are all the slides outlined in order of how worship will run. We click on it, and then over here is our preview window. So over here is our preview window, and then if I double click on this, once it makes it to our screen, which is our display view, this is what you'll see on the screen. Now I want you to notice that the home screen is actually showing what's supposed to be on our back screen, and you can tell by the outlined letters because it's left a room for a message in case we have to talk to people at the front regarding a mic or a missing message or something. So that means the display is wrong. And I just lost my mouse. Okay. So to fix the display, we're going to ProPresenter, Preferences, Display. Alright, and you'll see we have 3 screens, which is correct because we have a primary monitor 1, which is what we're seeing right now. We have our output, which is what we see on the front screens. And then we have SD is stage display, which is what we see on the back screens. But right now, stage display is on number 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to unclick this enable stage display. We're going to move out to 2, to 3. And you'll see as soon as I did that, it automatically moved our output to point 3, screen 3, the front view, which is where we want. It's now where it's supposed to be. And our stage display is on 2. But if you look at the back screen, it's still showing what should be on 3. And that's because we haven't hit enable stage display. Now that we've hit it, we can see that we now have our outlined view, just as we had on the front screen before. A little confusing, I know. But basically the concept of this is when you have screens that are showing the wrong thing, you need to go to, sorry, I'm going to do this again. You need to go to ProPresenter 6, Preferences, Display, and you need to move them just by clicking and dragging the stage display and the outlet. The primary monitor is always 1, Sometimes the computer malfunctions and doesn't recognize which port is which, so just switch these back and forth and unclick and re-click Enable Stage Display until it goes on the proper screens. And then you want to bring up our announcement slides first thing. I don't have our announcement slides ready, but we're just going to pretend that that's ready. And then once you've selected the right playlist, maximize it so that our volunteers can just focus on one thing, one screen rather than three. And now we're ready to go for a worship service.